What happened was.
Hey friends, it's so nice to see you. It's today, the time is now. You are here and the weather is outside your window.
Today's guest has over 50 TV and film credits to her name. Here to tell an inspiring story about how rejection led to her success is my friend Kosha Patel.
Hello!
Hi.
Hello! I'm so excited to be here. Sorry, I got
I
real
loved
excited.
it. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm very excited to chat with you. I think the
Aw.
last time we saw each other, you were in LA
Yeah.
at the LA Opera, which is, oh my God, that was so incredible for me to see.
Well, thank you. It was so great to see you and reconnect and that was like 2016, I guess.
Was it really 2016? It
Yeah.
feels more recent than that, but I guess
Yeah.
you're right.
But we hadn't seen each other in well over 10 years.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. So we went to school together at Ithaca
Yes,
College.
we did.
Yeah. Where are you right now? First of all.
I'm currently in Los Angeles, where I am the majority of the time, I would say. I spend the majority of my life in downtown Los Angeles.
And on the beach, like taking cool pictures.
And on the beach taking cool pictures. I have to. I had a lot of time this year, actually.
We all did, yeah.
We all had so much time, yes. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Everyone was like, I'm going to learn to bake bread. I'm going to learn like this new hobby. And I was like, I'm going to go take selfies.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. I did not make bread.
You did it?
No.
That makes me feel better. Okay.
No, besides taking selfies, what else have you been doing this past year? And how has your life been different this past year with the challenges of the pandemic?
Well, obviously it's been like a complete shit show, but as with many shit shows, there have been like a lot of gifts and blessings as well. So I'll tell you all the shit and then I'll tell you the blessings too. The shit was, I think, just like everybody else experienced, it was so hard. First of all, I think it's hard going from busy to not busy. Right. It's terrifying. As an actor, you should be comfortable with not knowing when your next paycheck is coming. But this took that to a whole other level. Yeah. So financially, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And that was horrific. And then not being able to like do like normally in life when I'm stressed, I have some go-to places and things to do, like yoga class or, Sephora. But like we couldn't do that. So you really just had to like sit in your misery, which sucked. But the good things, the blessings were because everyone was in that boat, the pressure was like lifted. Yeah. Whereas I think in regular life, when you're an actor, if you're not working, it really does feel like it's just you, unless you're like talking to other unemployed actors. But a lot of times, like your friends are working. Yeah. And so it does feel like it's just you. Whereas in this scenario, the pressure was lifted because it was like everybody was in the same boat. Right. And not only that, but because that pressure was lifted, I really had a chance to like embrace creativity without thinking of it from like a financial perspective, or like thinking about how to monetize it, which I think can take out like the joy. Like we talked about that, but but I think turning it into a job is literally the opposite. It breeds the opposite of creativity. So it was just really fun to like get back into that playful, pressureless space of curiosity.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. I feel more creative than I have, honestly, since I was a kid. Yeah. Because of some of the things I was able to do this past year that were absolutely for no money, but were from my heart.
I love that. Yeah. And actually, I think when you're doing it, sometimes it doesn't feed your heart as often. Whereas when you're doing it for yourself, it just feeds your heart so much, which is, I think, a really important reminder.
When did you know you wanted to be an actor?
My parents, like typical Indian parents, sent me to every kind of camp, like computer camp, science camp, math camp, and they sent me to theater camp. And I loved that one the most. So it stuck. So I decided I was going to try and pursue that. Once I went to college, I knew that it was something I was going to give a shot professionally, because getting into a conservatory is so challenging and hard.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You would never do it if you didn't want to, like, I believe the people who are peers who are no longer acting, it's not because they were like, oh, I'll try this. I think it's because they tried it and it was not what they thought. And they were like, this is not for me.
Oh, absolutely. And especially once you graduate and there's that pressure to like either like get a Broadway show your first month in New York or like book a soap opera your first month in LA. Like, it's like, what? That you're setting yourself up to fail immediately.
You are
right?
setting yourself up
Yeah.
to fail. I did not have that experience because, and this is what I'll just get into it, but I got discontinued from Ithaca, which is basically being kicked out. And also, it's tough being like an Indian girl, because my parents I didn't grow up learning about classic American theater. Like, it was very not relatable to me.
Yeah.
So theater in general has always been very challenging for me, but I got kicked out of Ithaca, and I think to have really scary professors who you think are the be all end all say, we don't want you.
Yeah.
That's like pretty much what you're going to experience for the rest of your life as an actor. So I learned at such a young age how to handle that experience or that feeling. So afterwards, I do feel like a lot of my peers, there was this pressure to book and there was this pressure to be great. Whereas I didn't have that, because I was like, I've never been great.
Wow.
But I'll keep going anyway, because the truth is, you don't have to be great to work. You can take that pressure off.
So we were in school together, and there's this process where every semester you're put up for a review, and it's possible that you can be kicked out.
From the beginning, I knew it was going to be a challenge, because I felt like so many people in theater school were so involved in theater and had so much experience. And I didn't have that. Like, I went to an all-girls school where kind of like everything extracurricular was a little bit of a joke. Like, I don't know that our theater program was like top notch. So I didn't have any experience. And so I came to Ithaca. Every semester you have a scene that you have to perform with one of your peers, and then they give you one of 4 categories. Continue, like good job. Warning, which is like off here. Probation, which is like, we don't like you, fix it. Continue, which is like, get out of our school. And the famous one from Ithaca, which I love, is Ricky Lake. So I always knew, like, going into it, like, Ricky Lake continued from Ithaca.
I forgot that.
Totally. So I always in my head was like, Ricky Lake got the boot, like, and she survived.
Like, Ricky Lake was your guiding light during.
Ricky Lake was my guiding beacon of hope. And so I remember I ended up my first semester of my sophomore year getting discontinued. And was that our scene?
I don't know.
One of our scenes for sure got me kicked out, which I think is so funny.
Probably.
Which I remember, Zach, I don't know if you remember our scene, but I just remember, like, there's no sexual tension. Like, you have to really explore your sexuality. And, like, the comedy of that is, like, is
so
gold.
much. Yeah.
Also, like, again, I was just, like, an 18-year-old girl.
Right.
Who had, like, literally never interacted with the opposite sex. Like,
yes. And classic me, I put a lot of work into creating the props and painting actual paintings for the scene, which really weren't necessary, but I did not work on the scene or the lines.
Right, I remember that.
That's very much me.
You were so lovely, Zach. Like, I just remember being so terrified, and you were, like, so chill. And it was just like, I needed that energy at that time.
Yeah, but you probably also needed a scene partner who put the work in on the scene and wasn't just creating props.
You know what's funny? I'm not gonna lie. Had you not told me that, I never would have known that.
Oh, that's
So,
good. Yeah.
but I remember. So actually, funny story. That scene got me kicked out of Ithaca.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Don't worry, because even funnier story. So I wrote a petition letter because you can write a petition letter to get
Yeah.
yourself back into the program. So I wrote a petition letter and I was like, here's why I deserve a second chance.
Yeah.
And I got back into the program. And then I knew I'm about to be kicked out of school. What am I going to do? So I started applying to any other school and I did my scene that semester and I still got kicked out. And I was like, no problem though, because I'm not staying here.
Yeah. Moral of the story is you go to LA, you get a degree, and are a successful TV actor.
I'm so grateful for that experience because I came to LA and I just have been I was about to say thriving ever since, but I don't know, guys.
I would say that.
But I started auditioning for all these short films that were being made by people at USC Film School, and some of them were really bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. I was able to find like a community for myself.
But I think when you're younger, especially, and you're out in the world for the first time, like you desperately want to fit somewhere and feel like you're good at something. What was your like first big break? Like you're in LA, you're getting through school, and then what happens?
I have a good first break story for you.
Yeah.
What happened was, so the first like big TV show I booked was this show called Lie to Me.
Yeah.
And I was so
I saw you on that.
You did?
Yeah. I screamed when you
Thank you.
I was like,
it's so funny because the role was like, she's a pregnant 17-year-old and she's crying and she obviously is like fresh off the boat from India. So like she has an accent.
Yeah.
So, like I could not relate to this on any level. Like I think literally one of my lines was like, he got us from the slums. It was just like, oh my God, talk about like bad writing. So I'll never forget it. And also like she's hysterically crying. And I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna hysterically cry? I'm like a comedian and I'm happy. So somehow I remember taking this picture of my parents and this little statue of an Indian god Ganesh in the audition. And I just held them with me and did the scene because thinking about my parents and how much they've like given me in my life and just thinking about God, it will get me real emotional. It will just like put me there. So yeah. I'm sure like the casting director and producer were like, what is she doing? But I did it anyway. And it worked because the waterworks just came. And so I remember getting to set and everyone was like, lie to me, like this is a big deal. So I show up to set and everything's late. Like I'm in my trailer for like 8 hours longer than I should be, just like wondering when they're gonna bring me on set. They bring me on set. Nobody says anything to me. The director like barely acknowledges me. Sure. And I just like stand there and there's like an AD who's like kind of just pointing me in the right direction. So I'm slowly following them. Clearly the tension is high. And the director's like, what is it, Tim? Like, what's the problem? And he's like, this doesn't look like the slums of India. So they move us all off. Because it's true, by the way. He's right. There were like sorries on the wall. I was like,
yeah, got it.
So he takes us off. I wait in my trailer for like 5 more hours.
Sure.
I come back and now it's just cardboard boxes. So it does look pretty slummish. So still though, like Tim Roth is like really upset. And you can just tell. And the director's like, oh my God, like, what is it, Tim? Is it the set? Like, we tried to fix this. And he's like, no. And the DP's like, is it the angles? Like, I could come in from here. And he's like, no. And then I was like so terrified. I was like, is it me, Tim? And he looks at me and he goes, no, darling, you're lovely. It's these lines. We're just going to improvise. And like, he throws this script down and literally just starts like improvising. And I swear to God, I had to pull something out of in my Indian accent, pretending I'm an immigrant. By the way, for everyone, I've never even been to India. Like,
Wow.
it's just like, it was just the funniest story. So then, and keep in mind, I'm in this fat pregnancy outfit. And so we do the scene. It works, it's great. And they're so far behind that as soon as the director yells cut, everyone like runs out. And I'm like stuck inside this bed and I can't move. And Tim Roth comes like running back in to like help me out. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, that was such an honor. Like, I was just so happy I lived through that experience. And he was like, thank you. Thank you. That was lovely. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. It was so great working with you. And he goes,
Wow.
no, darling, you're in the next scene. And then we went and shot something else, but it was just so funny.
That's like your first major thing.
That was like my first like big break on a TV show.
Wow. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I think I'm ready. Let's do this.
Zodiac sign.
Virgo. Birthday same day as Beyonce.
First show you ever did.
I played Evelini in The Wiz. Yes, at
Oh.
my all-girl school, St. Scholastica. Also, because we were all girls, we did a lot of plays and I got to play the boy parts. So we did Oliver and I was
cool.
Oliver.
Oh, yeah. Okay, your favorite work of art.
Beyonce's Lemonade album.
Yeah. Okay, top 5 actors of all time.
I'm gonna go with Benicio del Toro because I think he's hot. Oh, Chris Hemsworth because I also think he's hot. Taika Waititi because I think he's funny and also hot. And J-Lo, also hot. Oh, who's it gonna be? Keke Palmer, because she always makes me laugh.
Oh. Okay, do you believe in past lives?
Most Indian people who are raised Hindu, like one of the things about Hinduism is Hinduism very much believes in reincarnation. So growing up, every Indian person hears if they're being bad, they're gonna like come back to life as a cockroach in their next life. In theory, you live your life and hopefully you live it well and then you come back as something better.
Oh, wow.
So, like maybe I started out as a cockroach, but then I graduated to like, cat. Yeah, spider, then cat.
Then cat, yeah.
Then, elephant, yeah.
Yeah.
Then, person.
You can only listen to one singer for the rest of your life.
I would die. I refuse to listen to one singer for the rest of my life. I would be so angry, Zach. I do not like being stuck with one thing for the rest of my life.
Best live music experience you've ever had?
I've had so many because one of my day jobs was I was a ticket scalper.
Whoa.
So I used to get to go to like really bomb concerts. And one of the best was I saw the Arcade Fire at a place downtown called the Orpheum. And it was the best show I've ever seen. They were just like a 15-person band.
Wow.
And for some reason, it wasn't sold out. So they were just going in and out of like the audience and the stands. And as musicians, they're just really inspirational and amazing.
Wow. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Favorite color?
Red.
Fantasy vacation spot?
Anywhere I've never been. I would love to go to Antarctica. I would love to go to different places in the Caribbean. I would love to go to Africa.
Yeah.
I've never been to India. I would love to go to India.
Best sick day excuse?
I used to say like, oh, my uncle died, but then I got really upset with that. So I was like, okay, I'll stop.
Yeah.
Best sick day excuse. Diarrhea.
Yeah.
Nobody questions if you tell someone that you have diarrhea or stomach problems, no one wants to hear details.
No, it's true. Okay, you can have a weekend away with anyone who's ever lived.
My mom, dad, and my sister.
Oh. Okay, you're not in showbiz. What's your backup dream job?
Okay, definitely something with languages, like international spy.
Oh, yeah.
Because like you still get to act without anyone telling you like you're not doing a good job. Like
Right.
they'll just kill you.
Right.
Which honestly sometimes I would prefer. Yeah, I'd go with International Spy.
Okay, you can go to any planet.
I would go to the different dimension that exists where it's like you and I doing the exact same thing but slightly different.
Ooh. You can live in any time period.
I would have to either go with now or 4068. Like I would love to I would love to go to the
way in the future.
Yeah. I would love to go to the future, but like not if it's like Demolition Man or like
if there's nothing left.
Yeah, I don't want to be
Not do that.
Yeah, I don't want to have to like fight people for food.
You can go back to any time in your entire life as you now and tell your younger self in that moment one thing.
I would give myself a high five and be like, you're awesome. I'm from the future and I can assure you, you are awesome. Like, don't worry, it works out for us.
What's the meaning of life?
I don't think there is meaning to life. Just live it.
What's the high note of your life? What's the low note of your life?
The high note is so high that you can't hear it.
Oh, I heard it.
Okay, great.
That's a wrap.
Oh my god, I talked your ear off.
I loved it. Thanks for coming on What Happened Was.
Oh my god, my pleasure.
Yeah.
That's all for today's episode. Puppies and rainbows till we meet again. All